Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be fixing that little chip right there and the windshield. Had to put something behind the window so I can get a good look at the crack itself. So a general guideline for these little cracks is you want them to be smaller than a quarter. And this one is smaller than a quarter. Because if it's larger than a quarter, it's going to be really hard for one of these kits, which I'm using today, to fix it, to really get enough epoxy or whatever to fill it all up. Plus, it's also a structural integrity thing. If it's larger than it, it'll maybe just keep cracking. I don't know. But general rule, smaller than a quarter, and you're good to fix it. If you want to get something kind of sharp and pointy, I'm gonna use a thumbtack. You want to try to work out any chips that are left in there so that there's no leftover little chips to go back in. And after you've got it pretty good, you could take a alcohol wipe, just clean the area around it so the little sticky pad sticks well. Got a clean microfiber cloth to wipe it dry with here. And there we are. Alrighty, so next we're gonna put this where the hole is and make it line up to where the rock or whatever hit it is in the center of the hole, and the tab is facing up, which I'm gonna need both hands, which it has just one peelable side on the back here and then another peelable side on the front here for something else later, but just peel the one off the back here and put it on it. Alrighty, and then after you got it on there, just give it even pressure around, trying to get it completely onto the glass. But not too much pressure to push the crack even further. Alright, I still have a little bit of air pockets I couldn't work out there on this left side, but that shouldn't matter too much. Now I gotta take this peel off. I'm pretty sure it's in the peel. That might just be working out for me. And then just put it on there. And then yeah. Now with that on there, all we gotta do is twist off this cap, fill this up as much as it'll go, and then we'll put the plunger in there to make the vacuum. All right, as you can see there, I've got it filled completely to the top with the resin. And now with the push thing pushed all the way down, simply just gotta push this in and you gotta pull it up, and you're gonna feel a lot of pressure, but it should be sucking the air out and putting the resin in, which is gonna be pretty neat. You can see it's kind of bubbling a little bit. I'm a little worried I might have not put enough resin in there. Might have to do it again, but now we wait a while. Another thing the Mighty Chris Fix says is to knock around the resin to try to get more of the air out, because really what we're waiting for is it to stop bubbling there and for all the resin to be pulled in, which I say I might need to add a little bit more resin, but there's still some that's in the syringe in the bottom, so I might be good. I might have done it good enough. This is just for me, because I must have not put enough resin in here, or the chip was bigger than I imagined, but there's still a little pocket of air that I can see in there. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to get rid of the vacuum, pull out the syringe, fill it up a little bit more, and then repeat the process and see if I get a better result. And then I'll move on to the next step. I repeated the process, and already it's looking a lot more promising. That little air bubble's gone. There's just a bunch of smaller ones. I'll try to wait a little longer to see if those clear out, but yeah. The sky is getting super windy and super cloudy really fast, so I need to hurry this up. All right, so we gave it like 1 more minute and it's looking great. There's just the lines where that physical glass is cracked, but I can't fix that. So now, before it starts thundering, because apparently it's literally about to thunder in like 30 minutes, what you want to do is you want to let this down. See if I can't get it to focus. Let me reach. So, what you do, so I'm going to let this down. Take it out, pull it all the way up, what I'm going to do here is put it back in and give it some pressure. Just go till it's about giving you pretty much a lot of force back. And what this does is this is pushing it deeper inside of the crack. You don't want to push too far, else this will just pop right off. But give it a little taps, and eventually it'll be good to go. Which I'm gonna put it on one of those things right there to hold it down. And I'm gonna keep that there for about 20 minutes. And then a storm's gonna come in. So that actually throws everything off. I wish I checked the weather. Because the next step was to leave it in the sun, but the sun is going away. So this is something. Wasn't expecting this. I should have been expecting this. It was too sunny for too long. Things were too good for too long. So, I don't know. This might mess it up somehow, which kind of sucks, but also it's kind of thundering. I mean, everything else on it's not perfect, so I guess that makes it just gives it more character, I guess. So, yeah, and that's exactly what happens. So now the resin has just spewed out. Things aren't really going my way right now. Let me check how it's slipping in the crack. I decided I just need to cut my losses before I just get rained on and I have to just ditch the whole thing, restart and get a new pack. I might probably still have to restart and get a new pack of the new thing of the windshield repair kit thing, because these stickies are probably going to be done for by the time it's done storming. But I guess I could just restart this whole thing tomorrow and just pretend like this never happened. But this is a good reason, or not a good reason, but a good example of how I'm better than Chris Fix. Because stuff goes really wrong, and I'm not going to restart and act like I'm not an idiot, because I'm a big idiot. And this is a good lesson to anybody watching. You figure out the lesson. It's your thing. But yeah, I got everything in the Jeep. As you probably saw, I taped this thing up the best I can, and the resin's probably not gonna completely, what is the word I'm looking for? Set. It's not gonna completely set, and I believe there's a little air bubble now because it freaking shot out. But I'm not going for perfection, and that air bubble is above the crack in the little tube thing, I believe. So I'm pretty sure that won't affect it. It's better than it being how it was. Here at Pino Automotive, it may not be the prettiest thing in the world, but I tell you what, it works. It works, and that's all that matters. The little wet spots are from my water bottle, but it works. Also, they got new rims on my Camry. That's my daily. Look how shiny it is too. I just cleaned it. But your dedication and hard work, and it was literally, it's so shiny over there, but over there it's gray and kind of cooked. But I'll see you. I'll jump back to when I'm here tomorrow and I examine the damage of the storm on my little thing. It might be ready to just be, honestly, I might just continue with the process right where I left off, because the next step was to put the plastic tab on there and let it sit in the sun. The sun's gone now. The sun's over there where the rain is, so the sun is just gone. It's like dropped like 20 degrees already. But I might just put that clear little plastic tab on there with the little resin underneath it, because I put tape over the resin so it doesn't dry out, because tape's always the answer. And then I'll just put the little thing on there, let it cure in the sun, and it might look good, it might look bad. If it doesn't work, this is just a prime example for as of to why not to follow me. I'll maybe put a little description in the video at the beginning that I'm stupid and you should go to Chris Fix because his is just 20 times better. Also, I'm sure you can see that peeling up on the side there, missing the first little black rubber piece. That rubber piece is peeling up. The other two are fine. I'm I'm peeling those off because there's no paint anyways, and they're gonna have to take those off to paint. And I can reapply those after if I just don't let them just get torn up. So I'll have to probably scrape those other two off, but the first one I have in the passenger seat right now. Well, no, it's in the back seat right now. I'll probably peel that one off whenever it's a little bit more peeled off, because I don't think it's gonna fly off while I'm driving quite yet. And the other two, I'm just gonna have to definitely use a razor blade. Might take it to a shop, get that roof painted, get the hood painted. I was thinking about doing it myself, but paint is a really tricky thing. Maybe one day whenever I actually have like a shop and like money, but I have neither of those things. I don't even have the tools to do it too. So by the time I buy it all for my roof and hood job, that would look worse than whatever. If I were to take it to a shop, I'd be more in the pit and probably have a worse looking car. Maybe one day though, one day. Get one little final full shot of that beautiful car. God almighty. Alrighty. See ya. The wind actually slowed down, and now I'm thinking maybe I could still pull this off. Because if that resin is fully seated in there, which I'm gonna take this tape off and look at it, then we can continue with what we're doing. So this is a moment of truth right here. Using this, which you're supposed to use a razor, but this is all I got. You gotta slip this under there carefully, go around, and pop this thing off. So I'll be right back, because I ain't got nothing to prop it up no more, because I put everything up. As you can tell by my fingerprints, you could kind of see where I made a little bit of a mess, but it's pretty decent. No, it's not. It looks terrible. Yeah, that's... If I could just get it to focus too, my freaking... Can't get my thing to stay up no more for some reason. So here's how it looks after I did it here. Yeah, you can definitely see where I've messed up. Yeah, well, I mean, but also my crack that I have here is just... There's a lot of areas where it just strands out. And just, there's a lot of fine areas where the resin didn't get to. I mean, not to mention I definitely did a terrible job at it, but I see little areas with actual physical air pockets, so I'm just gonna put the little plastic thing on there and let it dry, and then this'll be this. I just got lucky and found this little thing on the ground. I guess I thought I had it in the kit sitting right here, and then I moved the kit in there after I left to cut my losses earlier. And I guess it just blew away whenever the wind was kicking up, but I just didn't see it. And I didn't remember it in my little rush to put everything up. My original plan was to go to the street where it was sunnier and park this thing and have this thing on there so it'll flatten out and it'll do its job. But now nowhere's sunny, and it needs about an hour to really get perfect. So my plan right now, I guess, is to wipe this off on my shirt, because honestly it doesn't make a difference anymore because it's kind of no longer perfect. Wipe it off with the microfiber cloth, put the little dab of the resin, smack this on there, tape the edges so it doesn't get wet, because let's face it, it's going to get wet, and I'm just going to let it sit for as long as I can, because I'm just going to let it sit till it rains, and then I'll come back out here maybe and put a tarp over it, or just leave it how it is, because it probably won't make a difference. Which, I mean, yeah, once it's smoothed out, you might not be able to tell. I'll come back tomorrow and scrape off the residue on top, and it might look decent. It might look bad. You can tell how bad it looks, and I put tape over it because it's definitely going to rain here in a bit. And since it's cloudy, it would typically take this about like an hour to finish up. But, well, I guess I'll just give it the remainder of sunlight I got left in today. I might still move it back down to the street so I can get a little bit more sun. But even then, I don't know if that'll make too much of a difference. I'm gonna just leave this on there. And I know this is definitely not waterproof tape, but I'm not gonna put actual tape on my windshield because I don't want to leave a residue or anything. Or I don't even know if the actual tape has ammonia or anything in it. So painter's tape will probably doesn't. I'm gonna put my money on it doesn't. But you can still tell on the inside here, 2 small bubbles, a bit of air from where the crack is. but those cracks extend pretty far. I don't want to use this as an excuse, but that crack, those two cracks extend pretty far, which you can't see the smaller ones. There was a few smaller ones that branched out a little bit more. I'm sure those were harder to get to, but I had that thing on plenty of pressure, and I had that thing plenty full towards the end too, and it still didn't quite fill that up. So that might be just too hard for even it being under pressure, too hard for it to be reached. It still looks a lot better than it did before. It's not a giant air bubble anymore, but it's still not perfect, but it's better, and I think that's all right. Now I'm gonna stop yapping, because I have yapped a lot in this time. I'm gonna move it to the road, I guess, give it as much sun as humanly possible. Yeah, I'll cut to me driving, I guess. Now I'm sure some decently smart person is gonna go, Maddie, did you say you were gonna cut your losses? I was gonna cut my losses, but then I was sitting on my bed, and it was like 30 minutes after I said I was gonna cut my losses, and it still hadn't started raining yet, and I was like, shoot, if I didn't say I was gonna cut my losses, I might have been done by now. And I was just second guessing myself for so long that I was like, I'm not gonna cut my losses, I guess. So I ended up not cutting my losses. I'm gonna pull up on the side of the street here, facing, well, I gotta face the sun though, so I can't. Okay, this will be fine. See, the sun will be more on it right here anyways tomorrow, so. Park it right here. But yeah, you can see my fantastic headliner job from here. Pretty far out. And I know I literally just said for a second time that I would come back tomorrow, but I just got super lucky with it not raining. I need to be more hopeful. I was just preparing, I guess, to be a wee bit disappointed. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Keeping it flat. Got it right off. Now, actually, that's not half bad. From that angle, you can't, well, let's see, you could see that, but that's like some other thing, but that's where it's at right there. You can't even see it from that angle. See, I mean, you can see the square where it was just at, but I mean, shoot. But the up close is where it'll get me. Well, actually, I might have not done that bad of a job. Okay, yeah, well, you could still see it. It's like the scratch, it's like that big pocket that I was talking about before that just didn't get filled in, but actually, hey, that's not that bad. Let's look at it from the inside. Okay, that's a little worse. So it looks a lot worse on the inside though. You can see two little air bubbles that I didn't get and the little cracks that the resin couldn't quite get to. But I mean, overall it's still better. It's not bad. I still gotta scrape off that surface residue though, so I guess I'll do that real quickly. Just a matter of trying to get flat. Don't want to get too aggressive of an angle though. Did make a bit of a mess with this stuff. Grab my cloth, mark that off. It's another pretty crucial step here. There's a little soapy water here. Just getting that bottom part right there. I'm not gonna get the actual part where I was just hitting it, but because this is where I got it right here. I'm not scrubbing that real hard. I'm scrubbing below it though, because that's where it like dripped. The resin was dripping, smart around it. Wish I had like an actual normal little blade. Clean this off. Okay, get back to it. And I can really mess it up at this point too. Be very careful. It already looks bad. I don't want it to look even worse. Just trying to get that. Try to get completely smooth with the rest of the glass here. Just kind of gliding right over it now. There's a lot of areas where it shouldn't be gliding right over though. I have to be a little bit more aggressive with it. It's not terrible. We're not failing that miserably right now. Be spine straw here. All right. Is that window spot right there? We got a level out. And there we are. The last little piece of resin that's on the glass is the resin that's actually making it flat. So now, give it a decent wipe down. Just one quick. You get some proper glass cleaner on it. It's definitely not perfect, but much better. Alrighty, so here's our after. Definitely not perfect. It looks like I also got a little bit of dirt in there somehow, so that's probably from the dirt that was on that masking tape, but shoot. I knew this wasn't going to be extremely perfect, but from afar, you could still see it kind of. From extra far and blocked by the antenna, it's gone. So let me do like a before and after in editing, I guess. So here's the before, and then I'm going to show the after. I mean, the air bubble, like there's still a few little air bubbles that I wasn't able to fully get out, but it's better than it being one giant visible bubble. I might come back to this again later, maybe try again. But it's probably how it is for right now. It's just probably is how it is. Which, I mean, this deep crack right here probably caused issues. That's really the big one, because I'm sure it was probably very difficult for that epoxy to get flown into there, because that's very... It has a very small opening to it. Overall, I'm actually pretty happy with the result. I use this spray weight glass cleaner, but I mean, you get what you can get. I mean, shit, you don't really see it till you get real up close to the camera. I can see it from there, but the camera's just not picking it up, actually. That's not a good example, really, but really, I don't see it till I'm like about yay close. So, I mean, good from when you're about 5 feet away. So, I mean, that's really all that matters. Well, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.